Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to go over a pretty ridiculous news story, and that a man literally broke into Valve and stole $40,000 of equipment and games. This same suspect had been previously arrested for burglary, stealing a FedEx truck, so this is just an absolute insane story. We'll look at that, and also some more positive news. Battlefield 5 is hosting a trio of free weekend trials that you guys can check out if you want to play Battlefield 5 for free, and I recommend that you do because everything, aside from the butchered marketing of this game, Battlefield 5 is actually a really good first-person shooter, so I want to talk a little bit about that. And then there is a great Capcom publisher sale going on Fanatical right now. Devil May Cry 5 is seeing a steep discount, so I'll cover that at the end of this video. Okay, but first up, here's the crazy story of the week. Man breaks into Valve stealing $40,000 of equipment. Yes, a man is being summoned to appear in court in Washington after breaking into Valve and stealing over $40,000 of games and equipment. According to local news station Kiro 7, 32-year-old Sean Shaputis already had 6 warrants out for his arrest when Valve brought burglary charges against him in September. He has since been captured on camera selling stolen games at GameStop. Should he fail to appear in court, another warrant will be issued. Police say that this is the same suspect who stole a FedEx truck in July of 2018 and was caught just 1 week after being arrested for a different string of burglaries. I don't know how they haven't put this dude behind bars at this point after doing all that, but I guess you could make the joke that Valve's security in-house is almost as bad as their security on Steam. Is that a little bit too much? Probably. Their security on Steam is actually pretty decent, but sometimes Steam just has these weird issues that I'm like, what is going on? But nonetheless, what a crazy story that I find. Yes, this is terrible. Nobody should be wanting Valve to get broken into and get robbed from. At the end of the day, $40,000 of equipment to Gabe Newell is, like a couple dollars to the regular person, but still, that's a scary situation. I don't know how this dude just breaks into Valve headquarters and then manages to steal all of this. Obviously, it happened while things were down, probably happened late at night, whatever the case may be, but still a little bit surprising, all things considered. I'll leave a link to Games Industry in the description box below where you can read the article for yourself. There's not a lot of information around this online, and obviously I would imagine that Valve would want to keep the entire details hush-hush because this isn't something you would want the entire community to know, so leave it to me to make it publicized and tell all my viewers about it. But nonetheless, I just found it a pretty ridiculous story, and hopefully they get this guy, because if you're already stealing FedEx trucks, if you're breaking into Valve stealing $40,000 of equipment, I would imagine this dude's got a squad with him, because if he is lone wolfing this stuff, that is absolutely insane. How could you be lone wolfing and stealing $40,000 of equipment from Valve? That just seems insane to me. How could you be getting away with stealing FedEx trucks and whatever the case may be? This is just next level, and again, I would imagine that he's got a squad with him, but we've only got one name as far as all of this is concerned. Just a scary situation all around. I know I am making it a little bit humorous, but hopefully everybody at Valve is okay, and hopefully nothing like this happens again. It's just unfortunate, but nonetheless just a little bit absurd at the same time. Alright, moving on from that, I do also want to give you guys a heads up that Battlefield 5 is hosting a trio of free weekend trials, and I really wanted to mention this given that just EA games in general in 2019 just have this really bad label attached to them, and probably rightfully so. EA has to butcher everything they get their hands on, whether it be Anthem, whether it be Star Wars Battlefront, which was literally, as I've said many times, a license to print money, and somehow EA effed it up. But as a part of Battlefield 5's Battlefest celebrations, it's opening its doors to anyone who wants to peek inside the World War II shooter, but only a little bit. Starting tomorrow, prospective soldiers can spend some long weekends with the game, each focusing on a specific mode. The first free trial will let you take Rush for a spin, planting and disarming explosives as you fight over objectives. The limited time mode is a Battlefield classic, and you'll be able to play it on Operation Underground, Rotterdam, Narvik, Mercury, and other maps. Trial players can still complete challenges and earn rewards, and this weekend it's a skin for the Stug 4 Tank Destroyer. Weekend 2 starting on October 20th, you'll be able to play Conquest mode. You'll fight across infantry focus maps, Operation Underground, Rotterdam, Devastation, Marcia, and Arras. Completing tasks during this weekend will net you the Trench Carbine, and lastly, the final weekend will begin on October 24th, giving you a taste of grand operations. These are huge multi-mode affairs that represent multiple days of fighting rather than a single battle by pitting teams against each other in multiple modes. You start off airborne with one team dropping in while the other attempts to shoot them out of the sky, and then progress through different maps and modes to determine the ultimate victor. To mark the end of Battlefest, players will be able to earn items by completing a community challenge together, so cool stuff there. Again, Battlefield 5 is probably the least commercially received Battlefield game of all time, at least ever since Battlefield 3. story. Every game has been rather big. Maybe Battlefield 5 did better than Battlefield Hardline just because Hardline was a meme filler game. But nonetheless, I thought Battlefield 5 was a really good game. As far as Battlefield games go, it's one of my favorite in the series and had a lot of great content to it. They've done a good job of keeping it updated with fresh content. The campaign was even pretty good. All around, the game is really good, and if you do want to play it, they did add it to EA Origin Access, so you can play it that way, $5 a month or $30 a year, and it's just a part of the Vault lineup now. But even if you don't want to do that, free weekend trials kicking off tomorrow, and then they will be continuing. October 20th, another weekend will be happening, and then October 24th, another free-to-play weekend, so check those out. I would recommend you guys to give Battlefield 5 at least a shot. I thought it was a pretty good game. Unfortunately, community is dying down a little bit, but it's still relatively active on PC. Alright, and lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up about a great Fanatical Capcom publisher sale that's going on right now. Devil May Cry 5 is seeing its steepest discount ever. It is 50% off for $29.99. Now, that is a great deal, and Devil May Cry 5 is one of my favorite games of the year. However, I do want to warn you guys that there is a possibility that this game will be added to Xbox Game Pass on PC sometime in the future. Now, I have no confirmation if that's going to happen, but it is a part of Game Pass on Xbox One. Generally speaking, a lot of the Game Pass titles that are available on Xbox One do eventually make the transition to Game Pass on PC. Monster Hunter World hasn't made the transition. Who knows if DMC5 is actually going to make that transition, but $30 is still a hefty price to pay for a game. But given that this game did just come out, 7 months ago, still a relatively recent release, and again, Capcom did a really good job with it. Gameplay is top-notch, music is absolutely awesome, visually it's great, and the PC performance is top-notch as well, so don't worry about that. Game is pretty easy to run as well, and it's not like Devil May Cry's storyline is something that you have to be completely invested into. They do have a recap theater where they go through the lore of Devil May Cry, so if you're so worried about the story, there is that as well. But if you just want a quality, fast-paced, action-oriented title, Devil May Cry 5 definitely offers that. But that's not the only game on sale. There's a lot of other titles discounted. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which is fantastic, 72% off for $8.39. That's a really good buy. Onimusha Warlords is 50% off for $9.99. I would say that that's really good. That is Onimusha 1, which wasn't the best game in the world, but it was still a quirky little title that released back on the PlayStation 2. And the setting is something that hits home with a lot of people, so $9.99 for that isn't bad. Okami HD is seeing a very nice discount. It is 56% off for $8.79. Okami HD is absolutely tremendous. Okami as a game is just fantastic. Unfortunately, it is locked to 30 frames per second, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but the game itself is really good. It was released at a budget price point of $20, so it's not like, it was a $40, $50 release that they locked it to 30 FPS. It was a $20 budget release, so I'm going to let that slide a little bit more, and now for $8.79, it is a really good buy. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, 70% off for $7.49. I really like that game, obviously, as a fighting game on PC. Keep your expectations in line. You're not getting the game on PC if you're expecting a robust online community, but $7.49 to go through the single player, have some battles, I think that's pretty good. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is on sale as well, but that game's terrible. Do not buy that. Bionic Commando Rearmed is just $2. That game is fantastic. Highly, highly underrated in my opinion. It is a little bit older at this point, but that is a fantastic 2D side-scrolling action title. Really good and does Bionic Commando a lot of justice. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition is 62% off for $9.49. Got a lot of the Mega Man games on sale. X Legacy Collection is $13.39. They got Legacy Collection 1 and 2 for $26.78. And then they have the OG Legacy Collection for $5.99. So some good stuff all around. Unfortunately, Resident Evil 2 nor Monster Hunter World are discounted. The Dead Rising games aren't discounted either. Resident Evil titles aren't discounted, but still some pretty good deals all around when you look at DMC, Okami HD, Remember Me even is a decent little title. Some good deals there. So that's going to conclude this video. Let me know your thoughts on somebody actually managing to break into Valve and stealing $40,000 of equipment. That's a pretty crazy story, but hopefully everybody is all right after that. Battlefield 5 is hosting a trio of free weekend trials. You can play Rush, Conquest, and Grand Operations, and Capcom has a pretty good publisher sale over on Fanatical. I would highly recommend DMC5 if you're not worried about the game getting added to Game Pass. Maybe you're not into subscription services or whatever the case may be, so I'll leave a link to that in the description box as well. And that's going to conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, obviously you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button, so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.